Yeah, so there it is. The day has fallen upon us where Netmarble has decided to scrap the game. There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions. What I wanted to make this video about was why the game failed and why it's ending, because there's just so many things that need to be discussed. Some of it might feel like a broken record, but there's just revelations about this that is just insane that could have prevented Netmarble from, thwarting this game and its process, and it looks like it could have had way more life than it did. 2 years is a long time for a mobile game, don't get me wrong, but it just, at the end of the day, this falls on the developers, because if you would have listened to the community to begin with since day one, there would have been improvements in the game. You wouldn't have had people leaving in hordes, like as far as like just quitting the game constantly every month, decreasing player base. And as a content creator, we tried to provide feedback to not so much the developers in the Discord, but we had people that we could contact and they could relay the message to them. But it just feels like whenever they did, it just fell on deaf ears. I don't know if it was a pride issue or whatnot, but these developers just would not listen to anything. And it was frustrating because you have these odd balance patch updates. There was a like 2-3 months where Snoke had to be nerfed and they did nothing. And instead they kept releasing nerfs for what's it called? Seven Sisters ID9 Seeker missiles at additional HP. Like, really, what? Where did you see that? You just random stuff, and it was just frustrating. Finally, they decided to nerf Snoke, but if they would have did more like hot fixes, what developers tend to do, this game would have had way more life than it's gonna currently have. So not listening to community was huge downfall to them, and the cash grab. Good lord, I mean, what they did right towards the end was, allowing the dailies to get 2 uniques and 1 leader a day. And that's how it should have been since day one, because it's got to the point where you couldn't even get a leader. Maybe I would get like a leader from a bronze pack once a week. And then of course you had your rewards, but it was just ridiculous. Like, it was forcing people just to buy leaders and blind draws and all that stuff. No, that's never going to last. You better have a solid product if you're going to be able to try to get away with those kind of cash grabs and microtransactions, because there's just no way that was happening. And then the matchmaking, which probably is the most glaring, obvious reason of all. People were quitting. I mean, think about it. You're constantly getting outmatched. Unless you pay, you're going to be stuck in a tier that has a bunch of, that just recycles the whales and the spenders and all that. So it drove people away. And every month it kept driving more people away when they was never addressed and never fixed. The last video was clear proof of that. I mean, when I'm rocking Lando at level 7, I'm going against level 8 outmatched cards, and yeah, I won those matches, but that doesn't mean that matchmaking was a success. It just means that I'm a beast with Lando is what it really means. But no, I've been using Lando since day one, and I lost a lot of those games. And I'm not going to show you guys me getting stomped out, losing 7 points. I mean, good. I think I went like 5 matches in a row, losing 7 points each time, which is just absolutely ridiculous. And I even suggested the idea, because I was doing Command and Conquer earlier. I said, look, if we go up against a deck that clearly outmatched, and you have minimal chance of winning, there should be a feature where, just like them, where if you lose no points. I don't care if it's 7, you lose no points. If you win, you get a crazy amount of points. Just that would have been helpful to keep players from just wasting 3 minutes of their time, sometimes maybe a minute, getting stomped out clean. This game was not, it was free to play friendly to start, and then it just became worse and worse as new leaders and new cards were released. If this would have just stayed free to play friendly, you would have had more players coming in. You would have kept your player base. Instead of losing, you would have had to maintain player base and more people coming, and you could have gained revenue through ads and just people playing your game. You can boast, look, we got 1 million players playing our game, but not so much microtransactions. And the marketing, good lord, the marketing was non-existent in this game. The only way I found this game, it was released about a month it was a month in release, and I was playing Walking Dead No Man's Land, and I was trying to get some chests. When you try to unlock some chests, it gives you like an ad option to watch this ad and unlock a free chest. Well, I was doing that, and about a month of doing that, finally a Star Wars Force Arena ad popped up. Miraculous chance. And yeah, I went and played it, but that was enough. Think about it. If that little ad was enough to get me in the game, imagine if they would have marketed more to players at the early stages. More people would have played this game. I don't know where maybe they threw all their money at Future Fight, Marvel Future Fight, and just said, you know what, we're not going to throw anything at Star Wars. So that was destined to fail from the beginning. If you don't market anything, especially now in this day and age, technology marketing is huge, huge. The overpowered and underpowered cards just took way too long. Took way too. You gotta have hot fix. You gotta be able to fix a card overnight. If it's if one person's complaining, but if you have droves of posts coming in, oh, this guy needs to be fixed. You don't sleep on it, and then you don't. Worse enough, you don't fix an entire completely irrelevant card that has nothing to do with anything. You fix it right away. You address the issue. You get feedback. You use the feedback from the community, and you fix the game. They did neither. Broken promises, the friend feature, it's still got a lock on it. It's just still chilling there. The rematch option was completely broken. You click rematch, all it does is freeze your game for a cool 30 seconds. More to waste your time. The forums, good lord, that Mobrum forum was just complete toxic. I mean, you guys ever go on the official Force Arena forum? It was just insane. Even before the more recent toxicness coming in, it was just always just complete shit posting at that point. It was just people just talking trash, cussing, racism. It was just bad. Where was the moderation? That as a company, you have an image, and you want to make sure that you protect your image and your game, more importantly. And if you got people like that are able to freelance and speak their mind like that, I mean, racially, come on, dude, that's horrible. And then we got the 3.0 update, which was a nail in the coffin. I had a chance to play that, but I didn't foresee it being so bad because, of course, we weren't playing online matches. It was just against bots. So, of course, I'm going to win every match. But the 3.0 update, so many things went wrong, and I could do a separate video on that. I created a video on what was wrong with it, so I'm not going to get into that. But the 3.0 update was a failure. The foils were a terrible idea. Raising the levels were a terrible idea. It was just bad. And yeah, a lot of people left after that, forcing people to spend millions of credits to upgrade cards that you previously already had coins for. It was just, yeah, it was insane. And then personally, I think that what killed the game is not introducing more factions. You had the light side, you had the dark side. Why was there no other faction introduced? You could have capitalized on this movie. There's so many characters. This universe, this franchise is unlimited, is full of resources that you could have used, and they didn't. They didn't use any of that. You had the Onaka gang. Come on, I even produced some nice little concepts for you, and I'm not a developer. I'm just a fan, and you couldn't do something like that, Onaka gang. Jabba the Hutt, and the cards I put for them, like, there's so much that they left on the table, and maybe it's a Lucasfilm art issue where they weren't able to, but I find that hard to believe. If you create a mobile game, you're going to come at it hard, and you're going to try to produce every kind of content you can to make the game successful. And in this department, they failed, and they failed miserably. Now, these are the reasons why the game failed. Now, why it's ending is a separate argument, which is what I'm going to get into now. So I believe that Zynga has a huge influence on why this game ended. Had Force Arena, the developers, taken care of their player base and maintained a good, income coming, or revenue coming, and I think this wouldn't have been an issue regardless. But because Zynga had purchased the rights to two games, not one but two, and they took over Star Wars Commander, this creates a huge burden on Netmarble. Because Zynga they paid a pretty penny. They dropped some serious coin to develop these two new games coming out. So now you got Netmarble put in a predicament. Now, okay, we have this game which is pulling like 50,000 a month, and we got Galaxy of Heroes pulling in 2 million or whatnot. Just throwing numbers out there, but the discrepancy surprisingly is not that far off. But now Netmarble has 2 years under their belt with this game. They have to renew their contract. I mean, as a developer and a license like Disney, you have to renew your contract. You can't just keep this game for life. So at that point, they're like, okay, well, are we going to put down money to keep this game active, or are we going to just shut it down? And it just seems like they put all their eggs in the basket for Marvel Future Fight. They got the marketing for that. They got the promotion, and they're on that game. Force Arena, not so much. So it's more of like, okay, well, Zynga put this much money down. Are we going to work out a contract and try to match them as far as keeping this game active? Because the Star Wars license, I mean, that's It's a very valuable license to have. And at the end of the day, Disney's like, well, we want this much or close to what Zynga gave us, or we lose the license. And what did Netmarble do? They come up with this right here. This right here, game featured iconic. We didn't make a difficult decision to end support for Star Wars. Nah, it was a difficult decision because you weren't able to keep up with the demand and what in the community, and it was a great idea, and you just weren't able to capitalize on it, making poor decisions. So this is the reason why I believe it's ending, because there's no point. You're not going to invest money to keep license for a game that's not producing enough revenue, because then you got to take care of your overhead, and just wasn't there. Now, what I would like to see, and it's kind of risky because I don't foresee any company taking over this game. There's no way. Why would you? They've already maxed out leaders. There's not really much money. You can't squeeze more out of this game. Players have already left, so this game is just going to be left to die. And hopefully the same concept is developed for another type of game, another license, whether it's not Disney, but you got Lord of the Rings, you have Game of Thrones, you have Walking Dead. Ton of direction another developer can go, and hopefully we see some type of this game resurrected. There's other games out there, but to be honest, not even going to be bothered with it. But more on Zynga. So we talked about how Zynga has purchased the rights to make 2 Star Wars games. I'm about 100% sure that one of these games is going to be a slot machine game or some version of a pinball game, because that's what they do. They have like a Wizard of Oz slot machine game version, and they have many more. And I'm not interested in that. Yeah, I'm good. I don't want to ping Anakin off a pinball machine. I'm straight on that. Believe me. Why they didn't acquire Arena? Why would you? Why would they? I mean, there's no point. This game has been so badly deteriorated by Netmarble. There'd be no point to acquire this and buy it off of them and try to reboot it somehow. It's dead to rights. It's the wrap. So yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna bother with any EA games. I'm sorry, but the Star Wars Galaxy Hero I never liked it to begin with. EA games are just the type of mobile games you want to stay away from. Now, Battlefront 2, I love that game. It's the only Star Wars game out right now, so I'm gonna play it. But if there was another Star Wars game, I'd be tearing that game up like crazy. But as far as any mobile games that come out for EA, I'm staying away from that for sure. So when I started with this channel, it was just mainly Force Arena. I mean, I was like messing around. I was at work. I was a temp. I was underpaid. I was underappreciated. And I was just making these concepts while playing Force Arena on the clock. And my friends were like, dude, this looks pretty dope. Like I made like a Dooku and an Obi-Wan before they came out. And they're like, these look really good. And I started posting it on Reddit and Mobirum and whatever, and I started getting some good feedback. So I'm like, you know what, let me create a video on this. So I started creating videos, and that's how I got started, guys. I got started with the concepts, and then I started doing gameplay, but it was mainly just concepts. I just wanted to give you guys taste of my ideas, my creativity, my innovation, and that's what made this channel great for me, is I had fun doing it. And dude, I never would imagine. I started in January with less than 80 videos and got to 1,000 subscribers. I mean, that to me was a huge achievement. I set the bar, I mean, a lot lower than that, and I surpassed it. There's other videos of similar content that, you got like 600, 400 videos, and they got their first 1,000 or whatnot. But no, the thing is, I wanted to take time with each video. I don't want to just produce regular boring content. No, I really took my time with the thumbnails. I took my time with the content, make sure that it was a good video. But yeah, I didn't get no shout outs. I mean, I literally started from scratch. I didn't know anybody, and I didn't know any channel. I was in buddies with a channel that had 100,000 subscribers and gave me a shout to gain 10,000 subs that are probably dead and don't even watch my video. No, it was all from scratch. And I love that, because these were organic. You guys watched my video, you guys liked it, you subbed, you commented, and at the end, I'm eternally grateful for that, because that's what it's about. You don't try to get shout outs or things like that and take the shortcut route, because it's not the best way to go about it. You want to earn your subscribers. And Jiggly Bean was one of the guys that was, man, he's one of the most honest YouTubers that I have talked to, associated with. Even though the guy is just 100% criticism, that salt. I mean it's fair criticism, to be fair. It's fair criticism. The guy, he's spitting truth, and he separated from the Discord because he was frustrated, and he had every right to be. But you guys got other content creators that are just, they spend much money in the game, and they just stomp out lower tier players, and they consider themselves good, and it's okay, to each their own. And there's some that have no clue about the game and just create clickbait topics like, oh, best deck, must try out deck, that I didn't even create, but they actually suck at the game. So that was one thing, is I wanted to get, to the point where I was confident in my ability and get some good gameplay videos and not just make it for entertainment value. So that was in kind of the late stage of the channel. But I made a lot of friends with this channel, as far as like you guys in the comments, and some of you messaged me on Discord or whatnot, and I know some of the guys from my guild. It's a shame it ended this way, but this is gonna help the channel move on to the next chapter. And I'm grateful for all of you guys that subbed the channel or didn't sub but still view and participate in somehow in the conversation. So definitely appreciate that, guys. And what's next for the channel? I mean, I started Command and Conquer videos, like the beta version, like way earlier, and I had fun for the game with the game for about maybe a month straight, and I was like, okay, this is something I can do. But you know what? After it kind of dawned on me, this is an EA game, and eventually it's gonna just get overrun with microtransactions. The greed from EA is just, oh my god, it's disgusting how greedy they are. And I know that if I invest in that game, it's gonna just be another money grab. So I'm gonna stay away from that game. I'm not gonna make videos out of a game I don't enjoy. I'm not gonna make a video on a game out of desperation to try to stay relevant like some people are already doing. It's just, yeah, I'm good on that. I'm gonna chill. I'm playing Red Dead Redemption Online. So if you guys got some gamer tags, let me know, because I'm trying to gather up a posse. And that game online is fun. You created my own character, got my little beard going, got a nice little hat. I'm having fun with that, playing with friends. And Star Wars Battlefront 2, I've been playing that as well. So, maybe here and there I'll upload a video. But in the meantime, I'm excited to see what Zynga has in store. I want to keep this channel strictly Star Wars related. So if any new game comes out from Zynga that's an appealing, you guys stick around. You're going to be some nice videos to go around. And till then, I'll just wait for Zynga to make a move. But yeah, this is going to be the last. I'm not going to play this game. I mean, it's a wrap. There's no point in playing this game anymore. I've played my last game. There it is. Force Arena. Deleted. It's been real. I'll see you guys later.